Hello and welcome everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss together and trying to understand the concept behind the vectors, the moving, rotating, and the outer skin of our shape. So here, as you can see in your screen, it's like an example of what we are going to understand in this tutorial. I got this image from algorithmicarchitecture.com. Just I kept it here just to know to give him the credits. Okay, as you can see here, these kind of shapes that we are going to discuss in this video. So first, you have to know that you have the shape or the base. The second part, we have four parts: the shapes, moving, rotating the skin, rotating, and the skin. Let's adjust this a little. Okay, so the shape is the point, which is you can take it as a reference for your shape: polygon, rectangle, or triangle, or circle. The moving, if you get this shape you want to do as a polygon or multiple segments, you can moving in base of vector, and the vector simply is the direction. The vector in Grasshopper means the direction, and we all know that we have a three direction. For example, if you want to move this shape up, that means the z vector. So moving and copying the shape, you will have a multiple and series from this shape. So at the end you will have like a multiple duplicated, the same base that you want to duplicate it up in the z direction. After moving it up or whatever direction you want, if you want to add some, like here, this is the first one is just moving and duplicated the shape toward the z direction. Here a little bit of degrees. Rotating, of course, it's degree, like from 1 to 90 or 54, and if you go more and more you increase the degree. The concept behind this is the first base is, let's say, 0 degree, and the second shape above you can rotate it by 5 degree. The third shape is rotating 10 degree from 0, not from 5. That's mean always the difference will be 5 degree. If you increase the difference between the level above and below, you will get closer to this shape. The final part is the skin, or the shape, the out shape, or the shell. If you are working in architecture, sky tower, or something like this, how you want, for example, how you want this kind of this surface to be looks like just simple lines or complex pattern or whatever you would like to do. So let's start with our script in Grasshopper. So let's start with the shape or our base, and I would like to use the polygon because it gives us as flexibility to adjust the segments, and the segments means the number of edges. Number of edges mean that this is how many segments. If you can go back here, like 1 2 3 4 5 segments, 4 segments, 3 segments, and the if you increase the segments more, you will have the smooth shape and closer to the circle. So let's start with the polygon. The base, I will keep it by default in the center. The radius, let's go with 50. And the segment C by default is 6. So as you can see here. Okay, if you want to increase it, you will have like a smoother shape. So, but I would like to keep it as a 6 segments. Okay, and so this is our shape, and we would like to move it up in z direction. Z direction. Okay, so now we want to give it a factor, and the factor means is the value or the distance or how what is the value you want to add it to for the motion here. There's a plugin series. It allow you to move it in the direction you want with duplication. So start, I will keep it by default from 0, and the step mean the distance between the first curve and the second curve, and the second curve, third curve, and so on. So let's check, try 5. Okay, no, let's increase it more. Okay, and the counts how many curves you want to duplicate. Sorry, this one could be the same. Yeah, see the distance between the two curves, it remains the same because we keep it here. If you decrease it and increase the counts, you will get similar shape. Okay, so this is the first part, the second part, sorry, and this is the first part. So now we have our base shape, and we copied it up or duplicated it up in the z direction. The third part is the rotation. The rotation needs the geometry. What is the geometry that you want to have it in a degree rotated? Okay, let's hide base, and here is by default like some value. We will not follow this. We just need again the same series component added to the degree. Okay, let's keep the count the same value of the first count. That means the number of floors or number of levels. We need to keep it the same in the moving and rotating logic. Okay, so the start I will keep it as it is, and the step, which mean the degree. Okay, and here the most important point, and don't forget to do it, is right click and mark it as a degree, so you have it like in a smooth way. So if you look at it in up, so between this line and this line is 3 degrees, because we mentioned here we keep it as a 3. If you increase, as you can see, it's keep moving far between the previous one and the front one. So I will reduce it a little bit to have the shape. Okay, so this is the third part. Let's try with adding more segments or reducing. You can see here. Okay. Mhm. The radius. Okay. And if you want to increase the count, increase the distance between the curves. Okay, so the final part is the skin, and you have your own design. Do whatever you want to do, but let's try to do together the loft curves, so you can have Because the loft curve, if you don't know it, it's just a simple connecting the surface between this curve and this curve, and again from this curve to this curve, and this curve, and so on. The more you're going up, it's keep connecting. Okay, and you have another option if you want to the curves. Extrude the curves in a z direction, of course, with amount that you are you want to move it. See these curves. Mhm. You can take this step, yeah, here, and keep it the same. So you are making sure that the more you are increasing up, the more extrusion will be connected. See? Okay, let's try to change. Mhm. Okay, and yeah. So what else we can do? So you have one option, another option. Let's pick it so you can see the final results. Mhm. Yeah, I think that's for today. We covered everything. Just a quick recap: the vectors, the copying, rotating. Okay, the skins. I believe next session or video we're going to be more practice with this shape, so we can create like more complex shape, more complex pattern or outskin for these shapes. Okay, that's for today, and keep learning every day.